You're about to drop 300 bucks at a shop because of a blinking light on your dashboard. Car reset, or the famous resetting your car's electrical system. In this video, you'll learn what actually works versus the most dangerous popular myths. You'll understand your car's brain and the commands in a simple and easy way. Stick around for this video. But what if I told you there's a real chance you can fix this right now for free in less than 5 minutes? Hold on. I'm not going to teach you those crazy dances of stepping on the brake 20 times that you see out there. I'm going to show you real technical procedures that mechanics use. But here's the truth. Of the 10 techniques that go viral on the internet, only 3 actually work. The other 7 can make the problem worse or even burn out your car's electronic components. Over the next 12 minutes, you'll know exactly which ones work, which ones are garbage, and especially when to stop trying yourself and take it to a professional before turning $100 into $2,000 in damage. Subscribe to the channel now and turn on the bell because every week I bring content about automotive maintenance without the fluff, straight to the point. And leave a comment telling me what electrical problem is keeping you up at night. Check engine light on, power window stuck, sensor failing, or that starter that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. Understand your car's brain. First, let's understand something fundamental that nobody explains properly. Your car is no longer that old mechanical beater your dad had where you could fix everything with a screwdriver. Any car manufactured after 2000 already has more computer than mechanics. The electronic control unit, the ECU controls absolutely everything. Fuel injection, ignition, valves, sensors, even the air conditioning. It's like the car's brain. And just like your phone freezes and needs to restart, the ECU can also have software crashes. The difference is that while you restart your phone by holding a button, in a car, the process is different. And this is where the danger of ready-made internet recipes lies. Keywords in this universe: ECU reset, error codes, automotive diagnostics, OBD to scanner, sensor failure, check engine lights, intermittent electrical problems. Now let's go to the first technique that actually works. Technique 1, basic battery reset. This solves about 40% of intermittent electrical problems. It's the basic battery reset, but done the right way. Not that sloppy way of stomping on pedals. Grab a 10mm or 30mm wrench, depending on your car model. Make sure the engine is completely off. Key out of the ignition, doors closed. Open the hood and locate the battery. You're going to disconnect only the negative terminal, the one with a minus sign or marked with the color black. Never start with the positive because you risk a short circuit if the wrench touches the body. Loosen the negative terminal bolt, pull the cable off and move it away so it doesn't touch anything metal. Now comes the part everyone gets wrong. You don't need to keep stepping on the brake. That doesn't drain any capacitor. It's pure myth. Simply wait 2 to 3 minutes. This time is enough for the ECU's internal capacitors to discharge naturally and for the volatile memory to erase temporary error codes. Why does this work? The ECU stores 2 types of information: permanent data, factory settings that never change; adaptive data things. The computer learns about how you drive, what gas you use, average temperature, altitude. Over time, this adaptive data can get messed up, especially if you changed your driving style a lot, switched fuel, or the battery got weak and generated bad readings. When you disconnect the battery for 2 to 3 minutes, you only erase the adaptive data and temporary error codes. It's like clearing the history without touching the operating system. Time's up. Reconnect the negative terminal. Tighten the bolt well to have perfect contact. Now put the key in the ignition. Turn it to position 2, the one that lights up the dash, but doesn't start the engine, and leave it like that for about 30 seconds. This allows the ECU to do an initial check of all the sensors. After that, you start normally. Important detail: in the first 50 to 100 miles after the reset, the car will be relearning its parameters. So it's normal for it to act a bit strange. The first week, idle might fluctuate a little, acceleration might feel slightly different, consumption might vary. This is completely normal. The ECU is simply recalibrating everything. If after a week the problem persists or comes back, then you need diagnostics with a scanner because the problem isn't software. It's physical. Could be a bad sensor, cut wiring harness, or burned component. This reset mainly fixes Warning lights that turn on and off by themselves. Communication failures between modules. Oxygen sensor giving wrong readings, confused thermostat, valve air conditioning system randomly freezing. Comment there. Have you tried disconnecting your car's battery? Did it work, or did the problem come back? The 3 fatal errors. Error number 1, disconnecting the battery with the car running. I've seen people do this and burn the ECU, right then? $1,500 in damage? Easy. Error number 2, leaving it disconnected for more than 15 minutes. Seems like more time would be better, but it's not. Some cars, especially newer ones with security systems, can lock important functions. I've seen cases of power windows that lost calibration, sunroof that wouldn't close anymore, and even sound systems that ask for unlock codes. Error number 3, not securing the terminal well when reconnecting. Loose connection causes bad contact, and bad contact on a battery causes a bunch of intermittent electrical problems. If you're enjoying the content, go ahead and share with that friend who is always complaining about electrical problems in their car. Technique 2, idle relearn. Second technique that actually works, but only in specific situations. Attention, this isn't for every car. It works mainly on models manufactured between 1996 and 2015 that use a component called the IAC valve, the idle air control valve. Newer cars with fully electronic throttle have other procedures that vary a lot from brand to brand. So when do you use this technique? When you notice that, after turning the car off and back on, the idle becomes unstable. Engine shaking, RPM oscillating between 600 and 1,000 revolutions, or even dying when you stop at a traffic light. This happens a lot in Civic, Corolla, Camry, Altima, Accord, older models that are super common here in the States. Correct procedure. Wait for the engine to cool completely, preferably in the morning before using the car. Put the key in the ignition and turn it to position 2. Leave it for 10 seconds, but don't start yet. This wakes up the ECU and prepares the systems. Now start it, leave the transmission in neutral or park. Don't step on anything, just let the engine run at idle. You need to stand there next to the car for 3 to 5 minutes. The ECU needs this time to measure engine temperature, airflow, throttle position, and adjust the IAC valve to the ideal point. After 5 minutes, turn off the engine, wait 1 minute, and repeat the process just once. 2 times total. You don't need to do it 10 times, like some videos say. Huge limitations that nobody talks about. First, it doesn't solve TPS problems, which is the throttle position sensor. This sensor needs calibration with specific scanner equipment. Each manufacturer has its method. Second, it's pointless to do this if the IAC valve is dirty or defective. Third, in cars with newer multi-point or direct injection, the procedure is completely different, and each automaker has its specific method. A Civic doesn't do it the same as a Camry, which doesn't do it the same as an Altima. So be careful with generic videos saying it works for everything. Tell me in the comments, what car do you have, and have you ever had unstable idle problems? Technique 3, wait time reset. Third and last, really valid technique is the simplest of all. The wait time reset, which is basically letting the car rest. Sounds silly, but it has serious technical foundation. It works like this. You turn off the car completely, take out the key, close all the doors, and simply go do something else for 5 to 10 minutes. Don't touch anything. Don't keep opening the door. Don't keep testing if it worked. Let the car literally sleep. What happens in those minutes? The car's electronic modules enter hibernation mode when they do a kind of self-cleaning of memory buffers. The CAN bus system, which is the communication network between all the car's computers, resets the diagnostic timers. The practical result is that many intermittent warning lights disappear after this procedure. This technique is especially useful when you installed or removed some electronic accessory, like a stereo, alarm, parking sensor. It also works well when you had a weak or dead battery and just finished charging it. And the best part? You can combine this technique with the battery reset. Do the procedure of disconnecting the negative terminal. Wait the 3 minutes. Reconnect. And then instead of driving off, leave the car sitting for another 10 minutes before using it. Success rate increases quite a bit. The 7 dangerous myths. Now let's go to the dark side. The 7 techniques that go viral on the internet but are pure garbage or even dangerous. Myth 1. TPS calibration by stepping on the accelerator. The idea is that you put the key in the ignition, floor the accelerator 3 times, and this would calibrate the throttle position sensor. TPS doesn't calibrate like that. It needs a specific automotive scanner that accesses the ECU parameters. Each manufacturer has its method. If you keep stepping on the accelerator for nothing, at most, you'll wear out the pedal spring. Myth 2. Remove main fuse for 5 minutes. There are videos teaching you to pull the fuse from the electrical panel, that big 40 or 50 amp fuse. The problem is, this can erase important settings, clock radio, trip, computer, power window calibration. In newer cars, it can even lock the anti-theft system. I've seen a customer who did this on a Civic and the car wouldn't start anymore because the immobilizer locked. Costs of $200 just in towing. Myth 3. Synchronization with remote doing crazy dance. Turn on, turn off, open door, close door, press alarm button. This simply doesn't exist in any manufacturer's technical manual. It's completely made up procedure. The remote really does need to be synchronized sometimes, but the procedure varies way too much from car to car. On a Civic, it's one way. On a Corolla, it's completely different. On a Camry, it's different still. Myth 4. Turn the steering wheel lock to lock to calibrate sensor. Steering angle sensor calibration isn't like that. It requires computerized alignment on specific equipment. If you keep turning the wheel at the stops with the car parked, you can misalign the sensor, create play in the steering box, and even damage the rack and pinion. On cars with electric steering, if the sensor misaligns, the car goes into safety mode and the steering gets heavy. I've seen it happen on Focus and Cruise. Myth 5. Step on the gas and brake at the same time. The idea would be to prevent battery sulfation. This makes no technical sense whatsoever. Battery sulfation happens from lack of proper charging. It has nothing to do with stepping on pedals. What you accomplish doing this is confusing these, which receives contradictory signals of acceleration and braking simultaneously. Myth 6. Leave the hood open for 30 minutes. The idea would be to let the car cool better and electronic components relax. 2 to 3 minutes is already more than enough for any component to discharge. Leaving at 30 minutes adds no benefit. It only exposes the engine to dust, and depending on where you live, it might even attract a cat to sleep on top of the warm engine. Myth 7. Triple magic ignition cycles. Those videos telling you to turn the key 3 times. Wait 7 seconds. Turn 3 more times. Wait 5 seconds. Start. Turn off. Wait 10 seconds. Pure theater, no technical basis whatsoever. Might work in 5% of cases due to pure coincidence, but it's not the ritual that fixes anything. Leave a comment. Which of these fake techniques have you tried that didn't work? When to go to a mechanic. Now, the most important part, knowing when to stop trying to fix it yourself. See a mechanic immediately if the check engine light stays on continuously, even after doing the reset. The problem comes back in less than a week. The battery drains in less than a week, even without using the car. The car fails to start repeatedly, especially on cold mornings. You hear any abnormal noise. Clicking, popping, buzzing, hissing coming from the electrical system. I know diagnostics at a shop are expensive. Here in the States, they charge between $80 and $150 just to connect the scanner and read the codes. But you know what? Costs more. Replacing the wrong part. I've seen people spend $500 replacing an oxygen sensor when the problem was just a cut wiring harness. Spend $1,000 replacing a fuel pump when it was just a blown fuse. The correct diagnosis can prevent losses of $2,000 or more. To sum it all up, 3 techniques actually work. 1. Battery reset by disconnecting the negative terminal for 2 to 3 minutes. 2. Idle relearn on older cars with IAC valve 3. Wait time reset of 5 to 10 minutes. The other 7 viral techniques are myths or dangerous. And most important, these procedures only solve software problems. If there's a defective physical component, you need professional diagnostics. The real savings is $0. Doing it yourself versus $80 to $200 at a shop. But a correct diagnosis prevents spending $2,000 on wrong parts. Golden tip: buy a basic OBD2 scanner. You can find them for $50 to $100 at auto parts stores or online. With it, you can read your car's error codes yourself and know whether the problem is serious or if you can try the reset. Worth every penny if you like working on your own car. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell, share with friends, and tell me in the comments, do you have a scanner or are you planning to buy one? This was today's video. I hope it helped you save money and especially not fall for internet traps. See you in the next video. Driving is good. Driving without problems is even better.